Hey, how you doing? It's Sunday. It's Sunday, lazy Sunday with Wade and Doe. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's week went well. Hello, Doe.
Hello.
Hi. We got no idea. Nothing's working. There, that's working. That looks like it's working now.
Hmm.
So, what we got going on? It's
Been a week.
been a week. Well, it's been a couple weeks for you.
Yeah, no.
You didn't make it last Friday because
Eloquist.
Eloquist. Yes, Eloquist.
That was
Do
fun.
tell the Eloquist story.
Well, they put me on Eloquist instead of these wonderful needles, which I thought would be a really good thing. And each pill that I took, symptoms popped up and got worse and worse to the point of full-fledged migraine. My spine felt like they'd taken it out, ran it up and down some stairs, over some train tracks, put it back in my body. And that was by pill 5 and 2 pills a day. So I didn't get very far. I took myself off of it, phoned them and said, nah, I'm not doing this. So they have 3 others that I can try. I don't even know if I want to at this point because that was pretty brutal. I was sick for 2.5, 3 days.
Yeah, stick with the needles. You know they work, right?
Yeah, I'll just have to put up with the bruises, the black and blue belly.
Exactly. And then, well, it's been a week.
It's been a week. Friday. Yeah.
Thursday.
Was it Thursday or was it Friday?
Thursday. Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Because you went for your treatment Wednesday this week. And then I got a call Thursday at work from my mother. My dad took a fall. They had to phone an ambulance to come and pick him up because neither my mom or my son were tough enough to pick him up. So they gave the ambulance a phone call and they came over and they took him to the University Hospital. He had a severe bladder infection, which in turn infected his bloodstream, which in turn led to sepsis. Now, for you and I, well, maybe not me, but yeah, maybe, who knows? Sepsis, it's severe.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. But it's beatable. My dad's 86 years old.
Bless his heart.
And I went up to see him today, and he's doing actually quite a bit better than what he was. He's able to lift himself out of bed now, and he can get up and take a few steps here and there, whereas
scary
2 days ago he couldn't move. So it's going to be a little bit of a trip here, a little road to recovery. So yeah, it is what it is. I took Friday off and drove Mom to the hospital so she could spend Friday with him. And then Saturday just kind of bummed around. And then today Mom and I went up to the hospital today. And
of course I had to do a Facebook call because I'm still emitting. I just came off my pump Friday. So I got 24 hours. I got to wait and stuff, which I could have gone, but I'm still tasting it. So I know it's still in my system.
Yeah. So that was our weekend. How's everybody else doing?
It never ends. It never ends.
My wife's sitting here with cancer and not feeling well. My dad's in the hospital, not doing well. What do I want? I just want to jump on a plane and go to the Ukraine. Like, I want to go document, document everything over there and just
something different. Yeah.
Immerse my mind into photography for 2 weeks. Just forget about life.
Regroup. Yeah.
Totally. I get blowed up, right? I just don't care anymore. So yeah.
You sometimes get to that point, I think. I was reading a post, and not that this is going that way, but I was reading a post of a friend who went to her aunt's funeral the other day, and people were complaining about the food. If you're complaining about the food, you shouldn't be there.
Holy Jesus Christ.
You should not freaking be there. That is not why you went. And if it is, you still shouldn't be there. That is ignorant, rude, and beyond comprehension.
I mean, I'm cheap and ultra Jewish and have often thought, I'll go to a wedding. I'll go to a funeral.
Yeah.
I never have. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So
it's so wrong on so many levels.
Is.
And I don't get it. Why go if that's, You're not there for the food. You're not there for, oh, I haven't seen Aunt Sophie in 25 years. Maybe I'll go. Pick up the phone.
Yeah. Thanks, Danielle. Right back at you.
It's just amazing what people will bitch about and in the wrong places.
Wrong
the
place,
wrong
time.
timing.
Yeah. The old saying, the old adage, you got nothing nice to say?
Don't
keep
say
your pie
anything,
hole shut. Yeah.
That's why I'm not having a surprise. I will not die. I am not having a funeral. So those who said that they were going to come for coffee, let's see. You have 2 incomes. You're more than capable. It freaks you out to see me like this. Well, how the fuck do you think I feel? Second, I am not having a funeral. There will be nobody crying at a casket. There will be no casket. There will be no cremation. There will be none of that. Don't think you're coming for a free meal, because there won't be that either. You best be remembering me as I am now, because you ain't getting a second chance. So either respect me now or we'll see you later. That's how that's going to go. I might live 40 years. It's still not going to change. I'm not having any of that. I don't want any of it. My Facebook page will be taken down. I don't want you posting shit to it. I don't want any of that. I've seen so much of it over the years, and I can't. I just can't.
Was it David Crosby passed away this week? And I had read an interview from him a while ago. I believe it was him. I'm pretty sure it was. And they asked him his thoughts on dying. And he said, well, doesn't matter to me. I have friends on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually rather enlightening when you
my only thing is, I would like people to get a small urn, keychain size. Take me traveling. Take me to places I've never been. Yeah. Set me free. Then I get to see the world. That's my one. That's what I want.
And we'll make that happen.
I'm not having a big, long, drawn-out process.
You're going to have to do it for yourself, though, in about 30 years, because that's about how long I plan to keep going. It's about another 30 years. And
I got 37 in my brain, and I don't know why.
And I'm going to check. Okay, fine. I'll go 37, and I'm checking out.
I got 37, and I'm pretty sure at that point it's going to be like, please, please, enough.
There's times where it's 37 hours I've had enough. I'm just
The one interesting thing about this particular chemo is it seems to last. I can't bounce back as quick as I did from the other one. It seems to have its little innuendos.
What's this one called?
This is remember? Oxyplatin with Fulfox.
Yeah.
Is what the gene therapy is. But it took me by surprise when I went to pick something up. Like I knew because they told me you're going to have your extremities, your ears, nose, throat, feet, hands. They're going to be susceptible to cold and hot. And I thought, yeah, okay. Round 1, no big deal. Round 2, got a little bit of it. Round 3, holy. I now have gloves for the kitchen. I can't get anything out of the fridge without gloves. Wade has to get stuff out of the freezer because even the gloves don't help. Feet are okay. I just had one episode of them being on fire. But it's been a couple days since I unhooked, and I'm still getting it. Still get shocks. And it's like when you're a kid and you had your hands really warm in mittens and they're kind of sweaty and stuff, and then you touch that one piece of metal and it burnt you, that's what I get. And it just the fingertips, just like the top part of the fingers.
Playing hockey for 4.5 hours at the rink when it's minus 23. And then you go and take your skates off and that warm air hits them and that burning sensation because your feet are frozen. Yeah.
It does affect, well, when we were going into my appointment on Wednesday, there was a fella and we didn't know what the commotion was about because we were just coming in from the parkade. And there was a whole group of people. But apparently he was on the same, we found out later, he was on the same meds that I'm on, and he got the Fulfox into the lungs. Yeah. So as soon as he stepped out into the parkade and got the colder
temperature change,
he couldn't breathe. He was breathing, but he thought he couldn't breathe because it freezes everything, like having I'm guessing, because I haven't had it yet, and I'm hoping I don't. Freezes everything like if you had a Slurpee on a really hot day.
Yeah.
But intensified to the point where you feel like you cannot breathe. And he went down And there was a group of people helping him get back, and they took him back to recovery, and they were warming him in blankets and stuff. So yeah, it's a different one.
Danielle wants to know, does it affect the food temperatures when you eat? Like,
do not, yeah, don't eat cold. Do not eat cold. Hot. They suggest room temperature, and I'm gonna go with that. Like, I can have coffee; it doesn't seem to bother me yet. But the minute it does, I'm gonna leave it sit.
How about your juices? Because we keep your juice in the fridge.
Juice, I have very small sips, and I cut it with water, room temperature water, because I don't want to know. I don't. I just don't. But the chemo taste is really something else with this one. It lasts for days, so I'm constantly rinsing my mouth with club soda, just to try and keep it down, because it's just thick. It's just thick, and nothing tastes good. Nothing. Your friends who have cancer and are going through similar treatments, that is a tip for you. You can brush your teeth with baking soda and water too. It helps somewhat, but
the club soda seems to
and you got to do it 2 or 3 times, but it's short-lived. It's short-lived. It always comes back, and it's in your saliva. It's in your. I used to wear a mouth guard for nighttime because I grind my teeth and lock them and clench, and I used to break teeth in my sleep.
Look at my teeth. That's what she's done to me.
I can't use it because it's so saturated with chemo into it that I had to throw it out. It's a very expensive thing to be thrown out, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's just so gross.
And then your ostomy supplies, you're using
Right now I'm using Coloplast. With a C extender.
Yeah, and that's been working out pretty good.
Yeah.
And you got into an exchange with Hollister.
Hollister sent me an email.
Yeah.
They want me back as a customer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, unless you guys come up with a mid-wear adhesive that will actually stick to a person, I'm not interested. So then they phoned me and they said, well, we have these 2 new brands to try, so we're going to send you out some samples. So that's good. And I should get those next week to try.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to any one of them. I'm just opposed to the ones that don't stick, because what's the point?
Even Kelby has tooth sensitivity to hot and cold. And that's I get that every now and again. So I've got a steel plate in my jaw. I got sucker punched in a bar fight 100 years ago. I got a steel plate holding my face together. And when it's -20, -25,
I have to tell them when to come in.
I have to be told to come in the house because the side of my face is now frosted over.
And it's red.
and then it gets pretty sore later.
Yeah, it turns bright red. That's how I can tell.
Yeah. Danielle wants to know if you're still having issues finding supplies, or is it okay now?
Some supplies are back ordered. It's shipping issues and stuff like that. But after the good fight that I had in December with the supplier, I'm pretty sure I moved to the top of the line. I was livid. She got my undivided attention. So pretty sure there won't be any more issues with my supplies, at least.
And does the brand change a price difference? Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
The way it works with Hollister is the lowest price appliance on the market.
Yeah.
Alberta Aids to Daily Living covers 75% of the cost of Hollister.
Which
so let's
1 box of bags of 10, and you're allowed 30 for 2 months. 1 box is $100.
Okay, so let's take that $100. Aids to Daily Living covers 75. We pay 25 out of pocket. Now those same. Hang on, let me finish here. Those same supplies in Convitex, for the sake of argument, are $200. Aids to Daily Living will cover $75, and we pay the $125 out of pocket. So they only cover 75% of the lowest price. After that, we're on our own for any upgrades.
And if you move into a more adhesive, like a mid standard or a high, I can't remember what it's called, but the higher adhesives, even in their own realm, you're paying more money.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. And the only thing that ADL covers is the bags, the rings, and every 6 months, a lubrication gel
An
and
oil change.
deodorizer. An oil change, yeah, basically.
Take
that's
in for
all
a
it
tune-up every
covers.
6 months.
And there's a list and a half long of other things that you need. Like the sea extenders aren't covered that I'm using, and they go around the outside to make sure you get an extra little seal on them. Stoma paste, that's not covered.
Oh.
Stoma powder, that's not covered. If you have any skin irritations, calamine lotion or Cavalon, not covered. Liquid Band-Aid, not covered. So the list just grows.
Yeah, I did a quick price breakdown last week on just a quickie little pod dose out of it. So I threw together a quick little pod and broke down the prices of what Blue Cross covers as far as the medications go, and then the ostomy supplies. I kind of broke that down a little bit. Didn't get too much into detail with that, but
yeah, it's. And I know some other provinces, like in Canada.
Put the goddamn garage door opener on this fucking thing.
Some of the other programs in Canada just give you a straight grant of like $5,000 to use for the year. And yeah, you're going to use the whole thing because a lot of the stuff isn't covered. Yeah. Oh, the little scissors that I have to use, and they're curved scissors so that you can cut
in a circle.
Those are $30. So don't lose them.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get another pair, and they're not going to give you a sample of those, as I found out.
Yeah.
Some people in the States have been lucky enough.
Assuming that adhesive stays in place.
It depends. If you have a colonoscopy, which is a little slower moving, heavier output.
So it's more like poop, right? Your food stays in your digestive tract longer with a colonoscopy. So your body produces the food, takes the nutrients and so forth out of it.
Takes a second absorption out
of it. Takes a second absorption out of it, which takes a lot of the liquids out of it. So it's more like your conventional from the bum poop, just not big.
Yeah. And
like rabbit pellets.
Providing you've got a good adhesive and everything's perfect, no skin irritations. Because you're taking, literally, when you take the stuff off, you have that's another thing that's not covered, adhesive remover.
Yeah. And yes, if you go over the amount, we pay out of pocket.
You pay 100%. Out of pocket.
Yeah.
So in the summer, it was brutal because with me, I have an ileostomy. So I don't have what Wade just described as a second absorption.
Right.
I have like 18 to 22 inches, something like that, of straight into the bag. That's it. Small bowel, that's it. And it's high output, so it's very liquid. And if your belly is not perfect and your stoma is not perfect and mine is not, it will drain under. It will go under the wafer and release. So that in itself is a problem. And through the summer with the heat, that was really a problem. We went to a wedding, and over the 2 days, it was 8 bags. 8 bags, and my skin was raw and bleeding from all the changes because you're taking a layer of skin off as you pull this thing off. So it was brutal. I was in tears, and I almost wanted to take a knife and just cut the whole thing out of me.
Yeah,
I was done. I was so done. But then magically, the last bag that I could ever get that I had on me stayed on for like 5 hours. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
At least that's something, because there was no place that would. I phoned a couple places to see if they had emergency supplies, gotten no response back out of anybody in Calgary. So thank you very much for that, assholes. But yeah, it was brutal, absolutely brutal. And yeah, heat and cold does make a difference on the adhesive. Yeah. So if you can warm it up a little bit, because it works with your body's temperature, warm it up a little bit to get a better stick on, great. Don't keep your supplies in an air-conditioned area, because that makes it harder to use them and they don't stick as well. And it's just, yeah, you're right, Daniel.
You're right, Daniel. It's wild to us as well. Any level that is acceptable like this as humans is acceptable healthcare. It's no different than diabetes. My dad has diabetes. He's got to pay for his insulin out of pocket, his needles out of pocket. Blue Cross covers nothing.
And now you got to pay for the Sharps container too.
Yeah, and now you have to pay for your Sharps container to dispose of your needles properly. The first one the drugstore gave us, and the second one I think we paid $11, $12 for it, something like that.
No,
$6?
it wasn't that much. It was like
$28.
$8 or
$8.
something. So I got one a third of the size.
May as well have been $3,000. I mean,
Some days it feels like that. It's like, what you want? How much?
$8 me to death here, kids.
I could just open up a little Tupperware, poke a hole.
No, Band-Aids would only be covered 75%.
Band-Aids, they don't cover it all.
Or yeah, Band-Aids aren't covered at all. Those drugs, anything.
I've gotten smarter this year. I'm only getting them in lots of as many as they'll give me for the $25.
We're getting them in bulk because we pay a maximum. Jesus, I'm having a hard time with English.
You always do.
I'm gonna go back to Ukraine and learn to speak English again. We buy in bulk because we pay a maximum of $25 per prescription. So if those hemoteps are $125 per 30 units, we're allowed to get 90 units at a time, which is the law in Alberta. I don't know what's like in the rest of Canada. You're allowed to get 90 units.
3 months supply.
3 months supply. So we'll get a 3 month supply, $125 a month. It costs us $25.
Yeah, got smarter this year.
Got smarter this time around. So
it's helping a little bit.
Yeah. The first half of last year, we had no coverage. Everything was out of pocket. It was just over $6,000.
Yeah.
The second half of last year, we had coverage, and it dropped it down to just about, including paying for the plan, just about $1,100 or $1,200, including the plan.
Plan was $7,000.
Yeah.
And out of pocket was another
$6 or $8. Yeah, something like that. So about $1,500 as opposed to $6,000. So
yeah, it was brutal. And thank you all for your support.
Yes, thank you all for your support and donations. All the donations to the GoFundMe page, and it's funny because Tamara told us about it, and Kel was involved with it, and Doe and I kind of sat here and went, I don't know. That's just it. We're not the type to take a handout, and we're not the type to ask for help.
Just figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go along. I think there was $6,400 donated total, and Doe and I discussed it. Anything left over, we're going to donate to cancer, something or another, the Stollery Children's Hospital, or it's going to someplace back into the medical field. Yeah.
Didn't get there.
Didn't get there. It's just
use that and then some.
Use that and another $20,000 from
other sources.
Other sources. So it's just bleeding money.
Anybody grow up poor besides me? And I mean poor.
Well, I wasn't poor. I mean, we weren't rich, but we weren't poor.
Just curious. I get cravings for poor people food every so often. And when I say poor people food, I'm not talking like, mac and cheese or whatever. I'm talking frickin' stale toast with mustard and mayo on it. That's how poor I was. Or tomato soup made with 2 packets of ketchup and half a cup of hot water. My kid looked at me the other night and went, huh? It's like, yeah, you haven't had a starving day in your life. You don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I've made it a point to make sure that my kids always came first and never had to starve. They just don't get it.
Have you looked at that kid? Have you looked at me? Neither one of us is starved.
Nope. I've sacrificed a lot. And I'm getting old. I get 55 this year. Holy shit. When did that happen?
You're 55?
I'm gonna be in March, yeah. When did that happen?
That makes me 42.
Yeah, it doesn't go backwards, hon.
Oh, age dyslexia. I win this year.
You can use your age dyslexia all you want.
I win this year. I win the age dyslexia sweepstakes this year.
I feel like 104.
I go from being 95 to being 6, and I'm going to act like a 6-year-old this year. I'm taking her down a whole pile of notches.
Please don't.
You think Emily and Jack are young? Oh, you watch. Please I'm going to be screaming from the bathroom, no, wipe my bum. It's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not wiping your bum.
I'm not going to work. I'm only 6. And I'm not going to school either. I went to play school. I'm done.
I remember that conversation with a couple of our kids.
Yeah, exactly.
How was school? Good. Now what?
Yeah. I've been to play school. I'm done. I've had enough.
The best conversation was a couple years apart. I had a conversation with Taylor, my oldest, that I was not a leprechaun just because my birthday is on the 17th of March. My shoes are small. I am not a leprechaun. And then as it turns out, he got the same, my younger son got the same teacher a couple years behind. And I had to explain it all again. And it's like, I am not a leprechaun. I don't have a pot of gold. If I had a pot of gold, do you think I'd be sitting here right now?
Exactly.
Seriously.
In private school.
Yeah, no. I have to figure out how to work from home.
I have to figure out how to work from home in Mexico.
Where's training to work from home? How do I train? How do I do this?
Insurance house. Insurance. A lot of that's done from home. You have to look for remote job positions.
Doesn't get any more remote than working from an RV on the side of a beach, does it?
Exactly. That's why we got to
find how I get paid.
Get paid in Canadian funds into a Canadian bank.
That I'm gonna have to figure that out because I don't know what happens after CPP because CPP is only approved until December, and whether that's the beginning of December or the end of December, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's next. But I am feeling better.
I think after your CPP expires, I think then you go on to AISH.
I have no idea.
Alberta Income for Severely Handicapped.
Oh.
Well, we got handicap parking.
That's my privileged VIP parking.
I never forget. I never remember to take it with me. Drove Mom to the hospital today, and she gave me shit. You have those handicap pass? Oh. Why would you even take that out of your car?
Well, the problem with the handicap pass is it's registered to the car, to the person. So you have to be there if they ever decide to check.
Yeah.
So that's a risk.
No, we're going to the hospital. I just say she's in the hospital having surgery. I just dropped her off at the front doors. Oh.
I'm not even so sure I want to
Danielle says, look into transcribing or something. There you go. Phone Anita.
I don't do medical. It's too many big words.
Well, you have the thesaurus in the other room.
I know. It's too many big words to look up.
No, you just ask him. He's done it.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, rude. I'm discussing my hair the other day and portions that are growing back. It's still a little thin on top and stuff, right? So it's like, okay, well, it is what it is, and it doesn't grow back in the numbers that came out. Like if number 42 fell out, you're getting 57 instead. It does. I wish it all came back the same way it fell out, but it doesn't, and it's coming in very dark. But he points out back of my head, which I don't look at, I can't see, and tells me I got a George Costanza thing on the go.
What
fucking
an asshole.
Rude.
You're an asshole, Sheldon.
George Costanza.
Who are you?
I know.
I had a feeling it might have been hurt.
Yeah, exactly right. What else we got on the go?
George Costanza. Fucking evil elf on the shelf. Yeah.
What else we got? This week's a free week.
This is a free week. Well, depends if your dad gets out, then I'll be going to the
Doe
hospital.
can go to pick my dad up.
Won't bother with anybody else's
work schedule and
schedules and stuff.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there now. Just
hold our breath,
and hope for the best. Exactly.
I'm glad that people are able to go visit him, and it's not as secluded as my COVID stay was.
Yeah. No,
that was brutal.
He's got a private room at the university, and walked in there today, and my aunt and my cousin were up visiting him as well. So that's lots of people popping in. So that's good.
Keeps the spirit high, because I know at one point, I think it was day 5 or day 6, it was just being isolated the way I was. It was brutal, beyond brutal. And through Christmas, it was even worse, just worse.
Yeah, well, your surgeon was German and you're Ukrainian, and he knew.
Actually, I always knew when he was coming into my room because I could see his little feet. He had little tiny feet. He'd just shuffle. He'd just shuffle his little feet. But I give him a hard time. And he says, no, I know. He says, you're Ukrainian. You're not going home for Christmas. He says, I know what it's going to be. You're going to be busy. You're not going home.
Yeah.
And then he doubled back later and brought me a little candy. So that was something.
Daniel says it doesn't have to be medical. It could be legal, etc. Yeah. Again, talk to Sheldon.
I just need to figure out how. They don't train you to work from home.
He mumbled something. I don't have my hearing aid in, so I didn't hear him.
Something useless.
Probably.
It's not. I heard the word useless. I'm useless?
No, I'm useless.
Oh
Well, it's all good.
I'm thinking that might be my only option for working because physically I can't lift. I already have the freaking hernia from coughing because they don't tell you this. If you have a colonoscopy done, a urology done, a uronoscopy, how do you say that one? Urostomy.
Urostomy.
Or an ileostomy, you shouldn't lift, twist, or bend. If you cough, hold the stoma in. Because if you don't, you will get a hernia, which is basically a baseball behind, which complicates putting all the adhesives on. So that makes things even more fun. So, and you can't lift and vacuum and stuff like that. So when I go grocery shopping, I have to take my muscles with me. Him and him.
Yep.
And whereas before I used to carry, I'd be the diehard 7 bags up the stairs into the house. I'm not doing this a second time. Like all of everything from Costco, 700. I don't care what it is. It's coming in the house one trip. Now it's like, is there a loaf of bread I can carry? It's like,
here's a bag with a loaf of bread, 3 bags of chips, and hang on, wait. Take the chocolate bar out. That puts it overweight.
And now it's even worse because with the cold sensitivity, and it does wear off. I just don't know. This time is kind of still hanging in there. She said that it's going to take longer and longer to wear off. And sometimes the results at the end can last, when you're done all the chemo, can last six months to a year. Some people never get better. Some people get better. I was like, great. That's why I didn't want to do this one, but there's no other options. So having said that, it's like now when we bring the groceries in, it's like, okay, that bag's cold. You guys deal with that. It's like, I'm not touching it. But I do what I can. I try to.
She still does too much as far as I'm concerned, but that's just me.
I get yelled at a lot.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm used to, it's a trauma response. Like when I was a kid and stuff, there was nobody there to do it for me. I had to figure it out for myself. So I did. And I just never stopped.
Yeah.
I never relied on anybody. I never asked for help. I still really have a tough time doing that.
Yeah. Well, in the 174 years we've been married now, you've been doing it for 174 of them.
Yeah. And when we worked opposites. I would get home from work at 2:00 in the afternoon, and if you didn't get that shit shoveled out here, you ain't ever getting back into the house. So,
have you been finding more foods, recipes that are working for your dietary needs? Yes, she has. Put it in my face. I'm eating it.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I can't eat big amounts. As of lately, I can't digest them. So red meat's kind of off the table for me, unless it's a really, really small amount, because it takes up a really long time to digest.
Well, you're supposed to eat 6 small meals a day, not.
I'm supposed to eat 6 small meals a day.
Sit down for a big supper.
What do you eat?
Leftovers, soup, leftover.
Yeah.
Cereal, leftover.
No, I just been eating pretty much once a day, and maybe a snack of some crackers or some cheese or something in between.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I can't afford to, jump into the fridge and make a pile of something and hope somebody else is going to eat the excess. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's.
So maybe a can of oysters here.
We're more on a budget restriction than a dietary restriction.
I've put everybody on a proportion restriction.
Still want more fish.
I don't care if you want more fish or not. You're not getting it.
Had a conversation with the dog about that. You know that, right?
The dog?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Woof, woof.
Yeah, she liked it.
Doe made mahi dorado the other night, and it was delicious.
I took a chance. We got some extra funding, so to speak. So I was able to get a few things that I wouldn't normally buy, and Costco had a big bag of mahi on sale for $7 off.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't.
And they're all individually wrapped, and they're thick. They're thick.
Tail steaks.
They're awesome. And I haven't had Dorado in 3 years.
Yeah, since
last time we were in Mexico. Yeah. Well, last time I was in Mexico. You've been in Mexico. I haven't. But
I'm more of a world traveler than you.
Yeah, I just send you away. For
go shoot a wedding, make some money. Okay, where is it? Mexico. Okay, go.
So much for the money. Once you factor in the flight and everything else, so much.
Yeah, well,
but at least it gets you out of house. Can't do that now, though.
No, I can't afford afford to be away.
And we don't live any place where there's delivery service. There's no delivery service.
No.
If you don't drive out here, you don't get.
So anyways, Doe made up this batch of Dorado, and we finished supper, and I turned and looked at her and went, you know,
more.
I could really go for more of this. She's, no, you've had enough. So all night long it was, hey, hon, do you need anything? No. Make me some fish then? No, fuck off. So tonight, we ate early tonight, actually, for supper. And I fed the dog at 5, and she ate, and we sat down to eat supper, and Doe had taken a big plate full of food, and she had some rigatoni. It was ragatoli. I had all sorts of rigatoni on her plate. And she had taken too much, so she's sitting there feeding the dog rigatoni. So I looked at the dog and said, how the hell do you rate second supper? This isn't fair. You're getting second supper of rigatoni, and it's probably not that good for you. It's like candy. It's probably not good for you. I'm asking for a second supper of a piece of fish, which is healthy. It's brain food. The omega-3s do you wonders. And Mom says, no, you're fat. You can't have any.
I didn't say.
And the dog turned and looked at me and went, and then went and laid down. So it's like the dog's in agreement.
I've never called him.
I know. I'm just teasing. Stupid dog. We're not friends anymore. I went out and played football with her tonight till my hand froze. You can only throw a football so many times with a glove and get so much dog drool into the glove, and then it freezes solid. It's only -2 outside.
Oh, it'd be crunchy.
Oh no, it's frozen stiff. I had to peel my hand out of it. So it's like, I'm going in the house, dog. Yeah, okay. So she came in with me.
Oh, there's another weird thing with chemo. When you're on chemo, all your aches and pains go away. It's really bizarre. And when the chemo's starting to come out of your system, like my shoulder's killing me, it's dislocated. I don't know if you can't really see, but it's been dislocated for a couple of years from the second last job I did. But anyway, it has to pop all the way out of place before they can fix it. And with this IVAD,
your power port.
My power port, it can't be fixed until that's. I don't get Bluetooth. I don't get radio.
Wi-Fi?
Nope. I just get a lot of static from you. But
nice implant. Not the fun kind.
The other weird thing. I got double eyelashes growing in this eye, and they're really, really long. Maybe next week I might do mascara and you can see.
Ooh, sexy it up for the podcast. Hey?
This one? No.
Sexy it up for the podcast.
No, I've got one thick eyelashes, and this one, no, nothing. It's bizarre. No, I still can't grow a unibrow, and back hair, forget it. It's not happening.
I still got the Philly lisp.
You still got the Philly lisp. What was the thing you were saying yesterday? Success.
Success.
Success. Everything was success. Like, holy crap.
I did it. First time in my life. I made a cake.
It was good.
I can cook. Don't ever. I can cook like nobody's business. I don't bake. I'm not a baker. I've never claimed to be a baker. I've never done any baking. Doe last night.
A cake mix.
Doe last night. Oh, I want that chocolate cake. Can you make it? I can't do it because the eggs are cold. It's like, oh yeah. Throw the cold card out there. Okay, I'll make the cake. So I get out this cake recipe or the cake box. Instructions are right on the back. It's easy, right? Put every step of the way. Pour 1/3 cup of oil into pan. Success. Pour cake batter into pan.
I thought Daffy Duck was
Success.
in the kitchen.
Then I had to play with a power tool that I was not comfortable with.
The egg beater.
The egg beater. Because every time I've used an egg beater for whatever I'm making, it's usually you get the thing going, and then you lift it out of the bowl, and you just get shit spraying all over the place, right? But I
food processor.
Yeah, I did quite well. I didn't spray anything anywhere, so because I get that from my mother, because my grandfather had a food processor, and he brought it over to my mom's place. They were making coleslaw. I think it was for my first wedding. They were making coleslaw for it.
Something like that. Yeah.
And my mom started pounding cabbage through this food processor, but didn't put the lid on.
To the ceiling.
There's cabbage all over the kitchen, eh? So my grandfather turns and looks at her and says, well, I know what I'm not leaving you in my will. We're still picking cabbage off the ceiling fans in my mom's house.
She says it's stipple.
Yeah, it's stipple now. Yeah.
It's not stipple.
Yeah.
40-year-old
40-year-old cabbage. It blends in with actually the rice from
the bullet rice from your uncle.
My cousin Bob. I was 15 or 16, and when I was 15, 16, I was a fucking orangutan. And mom and dad went.
Don't say.
Yeah, mom and dad went to BC. We were all supposed to go on vacation. Mom and dad and my sister loaded up in the truck and camper and went to BC. I had to stay back a week because I had hockey tryouts for a junior team here in Edmonton. Then I had to go to Kamloops because I had tryouts there for the Kamloops junior team, and they were camping by Kamloops. So we just made arrangements. My cousin Bob's going to come stay with me for the week. Then we're going to throw me on the Greyhound. I'll take the Greyhound to Kamloops, do my 1 week tryout there, meet up with mom and dad, and continue on camping for the rest of the summer. Well, Bob and I are home one night. I'm going to make some Chungking Chinese food, he says. Yeah, okay. So he picks up the box, reads the instructions. Heat pan. Pan's heated. Pour oil in pan, heat oil. Success. Well, he didn't do that, but you get the picture. Success. Pour contents into hot pan. It didn't stipulate, though, to pour the noodles or the rice into the hot pan. Bob poured the rice into the hot pan. Well, very similar to popcorn. Same reaction. I was ducking for cover because I thought I was going to get shot in the eye or something with a chunk of rice and lose an eye. So, but there was rice all over the kitchen. First words out of Bob's mouth. Yeah, we're not telling your parents about this shit. Yeah, I know. I never have told them either.
Until now.
Till now. Yeah, if they're watching the podcast, Mom, sorry.
Ding.
Ding. Yeah. So yeah, shit you never tell your parents, eh? 60 years old, I still don't tell them half the shit. I never told them I fell in love on that bus ride to Kamloops either. So I never told you that either. So now I'm in shit when I hang up the phone.
Could be good. Could be interesting.
Yeah, bus porn.
Anything on a bus is disgusting.
It wasn't at the time.
You
had to be there.
I didn't want to be there.
Well, no,
truly,
you would.
I don't want to be there.
You would have only been 12 or 13, so I wouldn't have wanted you there.
Cradle rubber.
Hmm?
You're a cradle rubber.
No, she was older than I was. I think she was married even.
What the hell's wrong with people? What is wrong? Like that.
It's a long, only bus ride, 9 hours.
That court case the other day on TV. 6-week-old baby.
Oh fuck! Those people.
Death.
That's not.
Death.
Just don't even have the trial. Just kill them.
God.
Slow and painful. Taser them till they're dead. Just or drown them, revive them, drown them again, revive them, drown them again, revive them, and then shoot them. I have no.
6-week-old baby.
Yeah, just kill them. Shoot them. Be done with it.
You can imagine what I'm going with, but I'm not going to say it because it's so revolting. I can't. No, I'm not even going to spell it. But they should be neutered.
No, that's
while
too
they're
good.
Awake.
That's too good for them.
Oh my God!
Unless you're killing them afterwards, that's too good for them. There's no place on my planet for those people. I'm sorry.
Those and people who are mean to dogs and leave them at the side of the road. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It was a bear. It wasn't a dog. It was we were talking about something else.
Animals.
Yeah. Well, no, when Justin and I were riding through Jasper on the Harleys. And
that's different.
I thought it was a dog.
No, there's people.
It was a bear.
People decide, I can't afford this dog. Well, don't get it.
Yeah, I've never understood that concept either. If you're looking for a pet, have a place where you can have a pet. That'd be like priority 1. Priority 1B would be allergies. Priority 1C would be affordability to feed the thing, neuter the thing, spay the thing, get the shots for the thing. All these things.
People are the worst animals.
And this isn't getting an animal. Isn't a.
It's like adopting a kid.
A 3-week commitment.
I'm bored. I need another.
It's not a 6-month commitment. It's 15 years.
Minimum.
Most cases, it's 15 years. Now I'm spitting all over my computer. 15. Okay, I don't have COVID.
Okay, just check.
It's a lifelong commitment. I mean, I was looking at getting a parrot.
It was a 70-year commitment.
And it was a serious we had serious discussions about it, and yeah, okay, we're going to do this. And Doe and I went to the bird store, and the bird latched onto Doe's earring, and that was, torture enough. And then we walked out of there kind of, okay, well, this is kind of the one I was looking at. And I got about 10 steps out of the door and was ready to collapse. I couldn't get any air. I'm deathly allergic to birds.
We didn't even know that.
So no, we didn't know it. So that put the end of the great bird experiment to bed.
And the minute I moved out of the house, I got a dog. I didn't get one dog. I got 2 dogs. And I've always, back in the day when apartments, condos, whatever, when I was renting, I always paid a pet deposit. I always found a place that would allow pets. And if it didn't, I wouldn't live there. That was just that.
Exactly.
It's a commitment. It's not a convenience. And it shouldn't be a convenience. And it shouldn't be a present. And it shouldn't. There's a list of 1,001 shouldn'ts.
Exactly.
And I just, breaks my heart to see all these shelters full and screaming for help. And then it pisses me off to see all these breeders still breeding when the shelters are full. Guess what? Half those dogs that you're breeding probably going to end up in the shelter. So just don't. Just don't. Take a break. Take a break from it.
Have a Kit Kat.
It just irks me. And how many cats?
It just irks me.
I mean, we say we don't like our cat. We like her. She's just noisy and obnoxious. And, well.
I say I like her just so you don't yell at me.
But am I ever going to kick her to the curb or anything like that?
No.
She's a commitment I made, and I'll keep that commitment.
Exactly.
But there's so many cats out there. That's even worse than what dogs are.
Yeah.
Just spay and neuter your animals.
Thank you, Bob Barker.
Well, you're not going to be part of the solution. You're part of the problem.
Where's my really, really long microphone?
Boom.
Thank you, Bob Barker.
Need a boom?
No, this is a really long, skinny microphone that Bob Barker used to use.
That doesn't mean you should go out and buy or go out and rescue 16 cats, because then you're just creepy.
Yeah, you end up like Danielle, creepy cat lady. I mean, not this Danielle, another Danielle I know.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that story.
I know a few Danielles.
Yeah, they're all cat ladies. I mean, cool ladies. Cool ladies, not cat ladies. Danielle has 3 babies. My third was a human. They will always eat before me.
That's kind of funny. My sister-in-law, bless her heart, always buys treats and stuff for the animals for Christmas. Well, we have some of the pickiest animals in the world. She bought some little soup, cat soup.
Yeah.
Opened one up, give it up for the cat. She kind of licked it and went, I don't know. So we took it downstairs, and she has an auto feeder, and she has a bowl. So put it in the bowl, and she buried it with all the food from the bowl. She just buried it on top and started eating out of the auto feeder. So she's prissy. She don't like it. So that was that. And then Kona is very specific when it comes to her toys.
See?
Very specific.
Danielle's so vain, she thought I was talking about her. You're so vain.
Kona is very much, what's the word? Not particular.
Garbage can.
Spoiled rotten. She doesn't like Costco toys. She doesn't like Costco beds. She doesn't like anything that squeaks. She likes
footballs.
Chuck It, certain balls, orange and only the orange and blue Chuck It balls. And
this thing here
is expensive as hell.
It's still dripping drool.
Gross. You played hard.
You know, that's ice from the snow from the backyard. But yeah, that ball
is $30.
It's $30. That's the second one she's had. The other one lasted 3 years.
3 years. It's a Kong
Jumbler. Kong Jumbler. We can go out in the back. We had a barbecue we had our first ball. We had a barbecue, and she'd take it to whoever and just throw the ball. Throw the ball.
Indestructible.
And 9 hours she chased that damn ball around the yard until she was lame. So today it was nice out. It was like +1, +2 outside, something like that. So I got home from the hospital. I threw on my coat and shoes, went out in the backyard and grabbed the ball, which we keep in the house for winter now instead of letting it freeze and crack and crumble and break. And I went outside and played with her for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes throwing the ball. I had to go find it once because it landed in really deep snow and she lost track of where it was. So then my hand froze.
And it's funny because originally we started with the jumbler ball.
Yeah.
And she liked the ball. But then I started noticing like her little jaw would get under the handle. And I'm always worried about them snapping their jaw in the handle. So I bought
the football.
No, I bought one that had a disc around the outside, thinking that it's also a jumbler toy because she really liked the ball. Thought she might like that one. She wanted nothing to do with it. Bought the football. We haven't seen her since.
Yeah.
Just loves the football, and it's hard to find it.
In the summer, we go and sit on the back deck, and it's ball. You know? You're sitting there. You have people over. We're sitting down having a drink or whatever on the back deck or coffee. Ball. Somebody throws down
frisbees in the house.
Yeah, frisbee in the house.
Frisbee in the house, and it's always the one with a soft edge, but it can't be rubber. It's got to be cloth. Yeah. It's got to be particular.
You ever played frisbee in a house how big is our living room?
600 square feet. Kitchen, living, and dining is 600 square feet.
Yeah, so our living room is 250, 300 square feet. And we're playing frisbee with a dog that weighs
70 pounds.
70 pounds.
She's fat. She's supposed to weigh 50.
Well, it's because she has second suppers all the time. I'm just saying. If she had something healthy, like maybe a nice piece of Dorado.
Broccoli.
Wouldn't be that bad.
Another carrot.
Yeah.
The potatoes made her fat.
Sure, blame the potatoes.
Stop feeding her potatoes.
I stopped feeding her snacks when I got over work. So
that helped too. She just needs to go for more walks.
Yeah.
But it's killing me this spring. Last year, February was really bad.
It's not even spring. You got another 3-4 months till spring.
It's nice and it's warm and it's.
Well, just wait a week because next week it's going to be minus 45 and.
That'll make me miserable.
Everybody will be miserable and cranky.
Spring is the worst because I just want to get outside. I want to get gardening. I want to get on this RV and get it cleaned up, get it redone, get it working, get to doing some jobs.
I know.
It's killing me.
You could have gone outside and played ball with the dog.
It's wet. It's wet.
Everything's wet right now.
I know. It's awful. But it is what it is.
So this week's a clean week. We got no
appointments.
No appointments for Doe for anything. So hopefully we can get out and do a little something while the weather's nice. Just go in the afternoon for a drive or a walk or something, and depending on how icy it becomes. But it's supposed to be nice this week, in around that 0 mark all week long. So
hopefully no more freezing rain.
Yeah. So even if we can go, jump in the car and go to Elk Island Park or
air me out.
Take you out and air you out for a couple days. No. You run beside the car. It's all good.
See the abuse I put up with this year? A lot of abuse.
Well earned, well deserved.
But now I'm on a mission.
Oh, great.
Yeah, no, I want a chair.
Here comes a Lachlan short story. Go.
Lachlan short story. No, I have a recliner. And the problem with the recliner, as soon as I sit, my hips are below my knees. So my legs go numb and I got to get out of the recliner. And sometimes that's not exactly easy because of where my ostomy is located, right at the bend of my waist. So that's problematic. My legs going numb is problematic. And the pressure on my back is very problematic. So I posted to Facebook a chair that I would really, really like for my birthday as a group gift. It's upright, solid, doesn't move, doesn't rock. Because when I'm on chemo,
thanks, Danielle.
That rocking motion,
send muffins. Send muffins. The dog likes muffins.
I like muffins, just not Saskatoon ones. The rocks in it's too hard for me to eat. No more rocks. I'm not eating rocks anymore.
We'll have a good week. We will. And on that note, seeing as how Danielle's left, there's no point in us sticking around. We need a chair, though. We're going to go find a chair.
Well, like I said, I posted it. Maybe everybody can chip in and I'll get a birthday present.
Yeah, there we go. We'll figure something out.
I don't even care about the color. I care about the function.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other stories or? Because I'm going to shut this thing off. I have a lot of important things to do tonight. Unless you want to take over and pile up. pilot the show on your own.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
No, I think we've pretty much reached our limit of what we have to go on tonight.
I like to stay in an hour and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to bore people to death.
Again, anybody out there, any questions with regard to cancers and ostomies and supplies and those kinds of things, don't hesitate. If you got even a friend going through something, don't hesitate to reach out. We're more than happy to sit down and listen and try to point you in the right direction. I mean, we're not medical professionals, we're not therapists or anything, but we have some experience, and we want to share our experience and hope to make your time and shit a little bit easier. Get your shit straightened away a little easier than what we've had to go through. So make it easier on you. Mm-hmm. So that's about it. We'll see you next Sunday night, 7:00. If you like the show, hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the bell. And I mean hit the bell. Hit it hard. That way you'll get notified next Sunday when we go live. Every Sunday around 7:00 our time, 9:00 Eastern, 10:30 in Newfoundland, 6 in BC, 3 in the morning in the Ukraine. I know that because I was talking to Mike Bullard. I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning to do your podcast.
Not sure what it is in Switzerland.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Emil's not here tonight. I don't know. He's been on so many podcasts this week. Like, all the ones he's been at, so he's probably sleeping hard. He probably hit the wall and went, I can't do this anymore. So, bless him. He's a good guy. Good night, guys.